What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about AeroDrome finance at the request of Jeff. Jeff, we're talking about this one for you, my friend. AeroDrome, you guys, what a hell of a bounce from a low point that we had a little bit less than, or I guess a little bit more than 2 weeks ago. We're up over, we've seen a 125% overall pump and a 120% move as of now that it's sustained. Crazy. Crazy, man. From a low point to a high point here. Bounced off your 0.5. Not a common area to bounce off of, but I do say when you find significance on your 0.5, you get significant moves. And bullish engulfing candle, continuation afterwards, significant moves indeed, my friends. Bouncing off the 50 here, looking good. The 50 in the RSI is a common area to bounce off of, but the 50 in your fibs is not as common. It happens, but it's not as common, okay? Generally speaking, with a large move like this, it's common actually to hold your 382, and if not, go all the way to your 618. But hey, 0.5, it happens, man. Common does not mean it absolutely has to do this, right? Looking at the relative high to the low now at a different scope from here to here, you are above your 382. You are at your overbought zone. I don't normally call for this, right? Normally with this kind of look, I would actually call for you to consolidate here for a little bit, and perhaps you do, but I think you are moving up to $1.20 to $1.35. You're at 88 cents now, man. What's AeRO at? I know it's got a high market cap, right, for a new coin. It's not that high, though. I don't know. Maybe I got to buy some AeRO, man. That looks good. It looks good. Wish I bought some before it pumped, but you know, I didn't have as much confidence. I don't know as much about this project. I don't really know much about this project, and I love saying that. I love doing TA on projects that I don't know because I feel like I have an unbiased opinion on it. I love it even more whenever people make those snide comments that say you don't even know about a project, but you're going to do TA on it. If you knew anything about TA, which you're showing your hand whenever you make comments like that, that you have no clue what TA is. You don't need to know fundamentals to do TA. That's not what it's based off of. That's not even close to what it's based off. It's based off of the technicals, the price action, the historical references in the chart itself. So yes, and I actually think you're better off without knowing the underlying fundamentals most of the time. I mean, if you're going to put your money in it, you should know the fundamentals. Anything that I put my money into, I'm a technical analyst guy. Technical analysts make fun of the fundamental guys. Fundamental guys make fun of the technical analysts. It's just a back and forth thing. But whenever I'm investing in a project myself, I always look up the fundamentals. I have to know if it's fundamentally sound, if it's something that I can get behind. Enough of my own personal stuff. What I'm trying to say is I would not be surprised if you moved up to $1.20 to about $1.37. But to be frank, right before we get to that, pulling above your 382 like this, generally speaking, you do consolidate. You are at an area where you found support before, right? And perhaps you're finding resistance here. Maybe you do consolidate. Generally, I would either call for consolidation or a move back to your 236, but I don't think you will get that move back to your 236. I don't think you'll go below 79 cents. If you do, it's not going to be by much. So I think you'll hold that area for support if at all go down there. You might just move up from here. But it's going to be one of two, right? You're either going to continue to move up immediately, or you consolidate maybe through the rest of this week, and then sometime next week you move up. But inevitably $1.20 to $1.37, somewhere in that range. That's where I think your next pit stop is. Relative areas of resistance here, kind of relative areas of support back here. You can't really see it, but I'll delete this so you can, right? Relative areas of support, relative areas of resistance, all in that golden ratio zone. So up, man, it looks good. The daily RSI looks fine. 4-hour RSI looks really good as well. Might call for immediate continuation, though you are dying off in volume as you're moving up. So maybe you have found a resting point, but again, I don't think you're going to pull back dramatically from here. I don't think you'd go below 79 cents, or if you do, not by too much. So I can already hear the questions. How high will AeroDrome go by the end of the cycle? This is all we have. I don't feel confident or comfortable telling anybody where I think it's going to go. But to be fair, we do have our low, so we can at least estimate where our next high will be, which is going to be at a minimum at 386 to a maximum of 715. You're at 88 cents now. By the end of this year, you're going to see something of like a 4.3x to potentially an 8x. And you absolutely could go higher. This thing runs up phenomenal. I mean, an 8x on a 465. Would that be like 25 or 2.5 billion. I did my math wrong. I definitely did my math wrong. Hold on. I need to start doing head math more often, man. 465 million times 8, right? Because that's what we got. 8, yeah, we'll just say 8. 3.72. I don't know where I got 2.5. Did my math wrong, but 3.7 billion dollars. That's achievable. Yeah, on your next move up. Yeah, you could go higher. It's possible. I mean, to be completely fair, on a move like this could be construed as a bull flag, and in which case you would move up the same length of your flagpole, right? And if you break out, which you're doing right now, that would be your next move, which would take you all the way up to about 11 bucks, which if we take from a high point here to a low point, actually lines up very well with your 1886. It's a very common target. It's less common than this expected area. That's why I highlight this personally as the expected area. Just in my time trading, I've been doing this for over 7 years, technical analysis for over 7 years. This is the more expected area to achieve, especially on a deeper retracement like this. More shallow retracements, you can expect to see deeper extensions. But with a flagpole that literally lines up with that 1886, you might see 1153, and in which case, by the end of this year, or at least by the end of this move, whenever that happens to be, which I would assume is going to be by the end of this year, this thing looks like it likes to move up fast. Even if it moves slower than this last move, it would still probably be by the end of this year. I mean, you're looking at a 12x. I might have to throw some money in this thing, man. I think I knew I found my next purchase. I like this. I like this chart. I need to look more into the project. Obviously, look into the project before you put money into it yourself, but it's got the vote of confidence from a lot of people. So I don't know, man. I'll let you guys know if I do buy it. I always do. I don't keep those secrets, right? I'm very transparent with my portfolio, but yeah, man, that's all I got to say, I guess. It's looking good. Making me wish that I had the foresight to purchase it before, because right now, what looks to be a potential 12, almost 13x last week at the low could have been a potential 22x, you know? So, missed opportunity, but still opportunity awaits. So nevertheless, guys, the more immediate target that I would call for, again, just to keep ourselves grounded, right? More immediate target would probably be the 61869 zone, somewhere around $1.20 to $1.37, probably closer to that $1.37 area. And just because you interact with that and pull back does not mean it's over. It's very common, right? And then you probably do move up. So when you break $1.94, these new all-time high targets are all but happened, right? They're basically guaranteed to happen when you break that 886 at $1.94. Nothing's guaranteed, of course, but that's just the words that I chose. So hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more. AeroDrome's looking good. Good choice there, Jeff. Good choice, my friend. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.